some help. Can somebody get that Bradley Thor guy, or Thor's hammer guy, or whatever? Now, that actually sounds pretty good. Right in the middle. That's why I haven't seen what's not this. If you hit those knots, right, they can splinter right back at you. This is so low to the ground. Unfortunately, I'm gonna find my big sledgehammer. So we're gonna use this little 4-pound hand towel to break this bad boy. Now, as you can see, this was my first pro. Let's see, what is this called? This is the Steel Pro Wood Splitter Axe. I believe it's 8 pounds or so. But the reason these are so good is because they're super sharp. They come. This one's still sharp after 2 to 3 years, or probably older than that, 4 to 5 years old. And the reason I broke this is because I started to hit it on the back. These are not splitting wedges. It's not a maul. Mauls can be hit on the back of the head, even though it's not recommended because it does damage the internals in here because all that force is going into the wood. Even with this metal collar, there is a like 6-inch lag screw in the top of this head holding this plate on, and I believe also a wedge, a round wedge in there to keep the handle tight. But I started hitting mine with a big, heavy 10-pound sledgehammer and ended up breaking the handle. This all came apart. So this is my nice one now, and now this works as a good wedge, because if you know wedges, you know that some of them suck. This wedge is decent for $27, and this wedge here is total garbage. Don't buy this wedge. It has the wrong geometry going on here, where it likes to pop up out of the wood. The best wedge I've ever had was a round cone aluminum. And I'm looking for my big sledgehammer. I'll show you how. Now this one's going to work good at first because I'm not hitting it very hard, but when you come down on it with a big long handle sledgehammer, this wedge can come back up because it goes too wide all of a sudden. Now, this is probably going to screw me up here, but if you ever drove a wedge in and it's not splitting the wood, you know how frustrating that can be. That's why I brought all these over here, because I'm just going to go every 6 inches or so. And when you're using a wedge, you always start on the outer half. You never start in the middle, or even in this first half here. You always start on the outside to crack it open. If you start it here, it won't be wide enough. There won't be enough pressure to pop the log open. Now this is a rare scenario. For something this big, I would recommend a long-handled sledgehammer. But we're going to see if we can get away with this today. How long this is going to take us. Be very careful when you're using a short hammer like this to not hit your knuckles. I've done it once and it sucks. Or that. I've definitely skidded off and hit myself before too. You want to be coming straight down with your body, so that when you're swinging like this and you miss, you don't hit yourself. When you're swinging like that, that's how you get hit. When you come straight down, my buddy called it the Himalayan squat method. And also wear protection, eye protection. I should have ear protection in. My beanie's doing a little bit, but not enough, because sometimes that crack can really damage your hearing. And little chips of this metal fly right back at you. You don't want to know how much your hearing's. I just heard it crack. Hear that? How rewarding. So now I'm just going to alternate back and forth, because this one's not going to go as deep, and I can already feel this getting loose. That's not good. I should go to Home Depot and get another hammer here soon, because I gave my other sledge away apparently. You know, I like to alternate. As you can see, I'm not left-handed. I'm super not ambidextrous. This thing's sketchy. And it doesn't take a lot. You don't have to beat this. You can even use a regular hammer with the right wedge to get it down far enough. You don't have to beat these super hard. In fact, I'm just This thing's about to fall apart. Just gonna go back and forth. I like to alternate because when you overuse one area, you don't want to overuse your rotator cuffs and your shoulders, I'm telling you. And I like to cross swing, kind of like mix up the muscles you're using. I'm just gonna go back and forth here. This thing's gonna go flying in the air. When it does, let me know. It's working pretty good. Make sure to squat and come down so you're not throwing your back backwards like that. And another thing is, that's a weird little piece. You don't want to, what I'm gonna do actually is put this, we're cracking pretty good right there. Oh, that's a good sound. I forgot to check the side here to make sure there's no knots or any bad spots for the wood to split here, because it's splitting more here than that one. Practically because that's a better wedge right here. And what you can do is knock these around, or what I've done is I put a come along around here or a ratchet strap and strapped it to a tree and cranked it out of there before. It's not very fun, but it works. I think that'll work. This is about a 40, it's gotta be a 40-inch round, 36-inch round. And it is dry for several, probably a year or longer. Oh, that was a dud. Oh, come on. Get my eye-hand coordination going. And now you can see we're splitting around the heart here. There's a big knot right here that's keeping me from going through. So what I'm gonna do is keep driving this down in there. Doesn't gotta be pretty. Keep going a little more. That's loud, man. It's gonna be deaf. I'm older. Don't be afraid to be called a pussy if you're wearing your safety gear, because two shits. When you can hear, when you're 80 and they can't hear you, they'll be laughing. So now what I'm gonna want to do, my tendency is gonna be to whack right here with this axe, but I'm gonna put this in here. Actually, since this is gonna be loose here in a moment, what you could do is tap this in here. I'll loosen up this one. I'll get my good wedge out, maybe. With this being open here, it makes a good spot to pull, which is why I have this, because I can get this in here and pull that out if I have to. And this big bar here, you'll see what that's for in a minute. Look how sticky that wood is. This is some Ponderosa pine here in Oregon. So now I'm gonna leave that in there. This one will maybe finish it off. Yep, and then I'm just gonna come over here with my axe. Never wrench on a handle up. Always hit it up or kick it down like you just saw me do. I'm just gonna give it one little butter smooth. Now obviously you shouldn't go in the dirt like that. It's not gonna help your axe last longer, but there it is. I'll show you why this was such a bash. We're gonna split this whole thing until it's all the way done. So you can see where I was trying to go by hand, and then right in here there's a big knot in there, and so it went right around the heartwood, well, the heart of the tree technically. And now I'm probably gonna go right here with two wedges. That'll probably be my best bet. Obviously I'm 35, so I'm not the biggest, strongest that I ever have been, and I don't want to get hurt anymore, so I'm taking it easy on this bad boy, because it is really easy to overswing and to get jammed up, and the force goes up the handle into your shoulder and you throw your shoulder forward. I've done that before, coming down really hard on a splitting wedge, and I hit it before I knew and threw my shoulder out. And that I'm still dealing with that to this day, among other shoulder injuries. We're just gonna leave that right there. There's the first piece of firewood. We'll just make a little pile back here. And this was kind of an experimental log. I leave them up on their side so air can get to both sides. Because if you leave them on the flat like this, if you leave them on the dirt like that, they'll rot and get moldy. So we're gonna get rid of that guy for now. We're gonna go, I'm actually gonna put this one right here. I'm gonna start this one here. And then if we need help, I'll put this cross section over here. In fact, I'm gonna move you guys closer. Don't forget to drink some coffee on your break. Hey, come here. Today's coffee brought to you by Lone Pine here in Central Oregon, one of the best coffee spots. Log, come. Yeah, if you didn't know, my dog's name is Log. Let's go. Stay over here. My goat thinks you're over there. Here's my dog. Log the dog. What's up, bud? That's Pocket the goat. Let's go over here. So yeah, I was saying, you got to keep your logs up like this. It's not a big deal if a couple get knocked over, but as you can see, I've been slowly working this pile out into quarters. Then I let those dry more, and then I come back and split them again. But keeping your logs like that lets airflow to both sides, and the bark keeps them from rotting. And that little bit, even if there's no bark, that little bit keeps them from rotting pretty well. As you can tell, I've let a lot of bark accumulate over here to act as a ground barrier. So now I'm going to get you up close here, show you what exactly I'm doing here. So now we can see, it's like a little hatchet now. Now you can see the crack I have going here. I'm going to start this wedge here, and that might finish it right off. If I have to, I'll put this other wedge right there across. We'll keep going around this heartwood. Now my shoulder's already acting up. Not good. Going all lefty. Lefty revenge. Oh, dead. That's real stuck in there. So that's why I have this long metal bar, because I learned my lesson with trying to get in there on stringy wood. This wood is not green. It's over a year dried. You get the leverage to your advantage, boom, crack that right off. What I'm going to do here, while I have this half, oh yeah, see, that's really light. You hear how hollow that sounded? That's when you know wood's pretty dry. So now I'm going to scoot you guys back and let you watch. I'm going to just crack this wood up. I'm going to crack this wood up here. Let's go over here. Crack this wood up over here. Kind of at a downhill slope, but it's all right. One of the most important techniques in swinging an axe is to not pivot with your bottom hand. You don't want to pivot like that. You want to be coming and pivot. You want to like rotate the axe and then come straight down. I guess you technically do pivot there, but then you come down with the axe so that the axe is going in a swinging moment. The axe is just swinging straight down. And instead of bending over, you're going to come down with the axe like so. And then if you get it real stuck in there, give it just some pressure on the log here and a bop up and down just to break it a little bit. And what you can do, what I've heard Bradley Thor do, is oil your splitting head. Just have like a little thing of oil and a paper towel there to wipe it. And so where I'm going to aim for is the top, or the bottom third. Top third, bottom third. I'm not going to try to aim for the middle. So I'm going to try that again. And you want to look where you're hitting and not look away, kind of like golf, until you swing all the way. So see there, just because I got that bottom third, it already cracked the whole thing. Another way to get the wood off, if your palm gets sore, is to hold it up at a 45-degree angle and rock it forward. Let the weight of the wood bring your axe head out. And right there, if you don't want to use your hand or your body, just slowly tilt the wood back up, slide over a little bit. And now I got this front third, I'm gonna go for this top third. Boom, right through. Then I know not to overpower swing this, because from right here I can leave the axe in there and just use that as a little bit of leverage to pop that wood. As you can see, our Ponderosa is starting to blue already. So now I got that down. And so this section here, I can say I got a knot. Now knots split better on the bottom. So all that pressure is down low when it opens. And this has this weird cut in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this right here first and try to get this in half, and then that's probably 2 pieces of firewood. I could go another, the bigger the better. Got that tip off. Now I'm gonna take this and go down the middle. Boom, done. We're just gonna make a little pile of wood as we go. Boom, we got 3 pieces of wood. We'll take some of this inside. See how it burns. Right here, I'm gonna skip a step, holding onto the saw. You saw me put my foot in the right spot. I'm gonna roll that onto my foot and slowly use my foot and my hand as a combo grab. Now, if you have a knot on the top, it's fine if you miss it and keep splitting down the middle, but it's just gonna give you problems anyways. So I'm gonna flip this over. Sometimes you can't avoid it. If you got knots on both sides, so be it. We'll figure it out. Now this one, I'm gonna go right down the middle in half, and then here and make 4 pieces of firewood. And again, I hit in the middle and it's tight. I can feel it's tight in there. So what I'm gonna do is go right to the side, and it might fall into 4. Oh. Another way you can, I think this is the Russian method. If I can see a crack here, I can split right down the middle, like that. I'm just gonna keep stacking the wood right here. Even when it's on the ground, I can see the crack on the ground like that too. Boom, this wood's pretty dry. In a day or 2 inside, this will be burnable. You see I'm leaving some paint. Yeah, on spine. Okay, now I'm gonna put this bad boy up here. And so instead of picking things up and hurting your body, learn how to flip. So here I'm gonna squat down low, and I'm gonna roll this up onto the wood like that. So all I had to do was flip it over onto it. I'd have to actually pick up all the weight of the wood, keeping my back nice and straight. I'm gonna just peel this bark off. Make sure to watch out. It's been 0 degrees here for weeks, but make sure to watch out for bugs and spiders that could bite you. Give you a nasty infection. You don't want that. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little different. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to use the wedges on this, but what you can do is, obviously here is gonna break off a lot easier than here. And I don't like the look of this side. This is gonna be much cleaner. So I'm gonna go for this back third here again. See how far it gets us. Oh, look at that, it hinged on for us. I'm gonna leave that there and hit it right in half. Oh, let's put this up here and use that knock method. Lay it flat, right in the middle. Done. Perfect 4x4, 6x6 piece of wood, exactly what you want. So I'm gonna try that again. Now instead of going straight again, wood likes to split in pie sections more than square, especially Ponderosa. So I'm just gonna go, now see I messed up by hitting the middle. I need to come back on that third, right there. See, now I can wedge it off. I'm gonna leave that hinged, center it, I'm gonna knock that right in the middle. Now, I'll do it again. I'm gonna come back in the middle here. Done. Now I got 1, 2. You can use this as a knife. Lay this on top, hit it in the middle. See, it's already done. Use leverage and prying to your advantage. And never sit here. Don't try to pry wood apart like this. You will damage muscles and tendons here, ripping apart. That's not where our strength is. Our strength is holding in tight, not out. Our strength is in as humans. So when you're stuck here like that, get a pry bar. Use your knife. Put this in there, push down, pry to the side, and use this to get in there and cut those fibers. You'd rather sit here and use a tool to whack time and time again than go like this and hurt your shoulder for life. And you will, trust me. Now I'm just gonna kick this triangle corner off. Like, see right here, I'm not gonna pry on it. I'm gonna use leverage. Way easier on me. Firewood's done. Same thing here. I'm gonna come and knock this triangle off here. Now see right here, I got a knot coming through here, a branch that didn't quite make it to the side. So I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna try to break this in half. It might be pretty tricky. That was a pretty good hit. It's going the wrong way, but oh, that was a dud. Whenever you bounce off like that, when it bounces, that means it's either wet, which this one's not wet, it's only wet from the rain, this top ½ inch. It's either wet or there's something in the structure here that's preventing you from getting down in there. It's not that you need to swing harder. I swung with about 10% more of a hit there to see where my cracking was going, and now I'm gonna finish it off. Guys, you can literally see my water line right here. You can see a ½ inch of water from the rain. It rained like 7 days here. So I'm gonna leave these up there together. See right here, these look non-conspicuous, inconspicuous, but they can be really tight and strong and resin soaked, sap soaked, or sap locked, which you can kind of see that dark vein in there is sap lock. And it can be very tight and it can hurt you trying to yank those apart. Just leave them. Leave them or use a tool. See, like that, even right there, I'm dead. We're gonna go right in half here on this big boy. There might be a little knot in there. Nope. Now that's not a bad sized piece of wood. My rule of thumb when making firewood, I have big hands, but my rule of thumb is if you can't pick it up with one hand, it needs to be split again. So that one's good. That's like an overnighter. See this one here? It's a little harder to get it completely. And if it's a grandma, she's gonna complain and maybe not order next year. Move right in half. A little pile. See, right in the middle again. That's not where you want to end up. You want to be on the back third. Oh, crack. And then what you can do, see how I got the back third, instead of swinging up here, just spin it around 180. And now this is your back third again. And you spin it again. And the middle third, boom. I'm gonna lay that down because it's so skinny, it'll pop. Now sometimes there's a knot in there, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's not, sometimes there's not. See, I'm already halfway done. It's already been 30 minutes. Now there's a knot in here. That's not gonna work. For this one, I'm gonna have to go extra rough on it. I'm gonna split smaller sections when you have a knot. It's better than larger. These will be my mid-size starter pieces. Okay, let's finish off the big boy here. Call it a day. Some pretty looking wood, huh? I'm gonna move you guys up here so you can see another point of view. It's got me gassed, and I'm out of shape, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt I shouldn't have on. Okay, so here, oh, don't fall down on me. Make this more stable. All right, we're gonna grab our splitting wedges. I'm gonna go right in half here this time. I'm gonna start right here, this back third. Like just little hits. I mean, look, it'll go in there all day like this, and it's easier on your tools. Now you will stop at some point and have to drive it harder. Now I need to look. This looks like a bad spot. You can see this isn't a good line to follow, and there's something back here behind this bark. So I'm gonna start here instead. I can see a crack here, and you want to try to benefit off of your cracks. You can already see. The mini sledgehammer is scaring me. It's getting real bouncy. Now, I'm not going in anymore there either, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into thirds. I'm not going to fight this. I'm just going to go into thirds, so I think that's a good, you can see it's nice and straight right here. There's some problems in here. I'm going to go right about there. Just let her have it. close. I'll break my damn ankle. So I'm not following my own rules, and I about just broke my own foot because I swung through like this and missed and hit my boot. You gotta come straight down. Now this is unideal to have a mini sledge. I guess I gave my other one away. No, it is what it is. Hey, look how nasty the center of this tree is. It does not want to split correctly. Look at that. It's supposed to go there. There's some big knot in there. It's messing me up. And this was the butt of a tree. That might break. There we go. Put this guy in here. I could probably just hit with the axe, but I'm already right here at the tools, so. Now we're just gonna take a little piece of wood, take this guy, put it up here. Just using this as my own splitting block until I'm good to go. Break this shit off. Leave the bark in the way. I usually have like a little pry bar or something, a splitting axe. I mean a chopping axe to get rid of the bark, so I can crack down in there. We're gonna break this right in half. And that's probably good. I would leave that for my fireplace, but let's go one more. See, that one's being annoying. So one thing, the way you can break these off when they're real stuck is drop one off the side of a log. Let the weight of the wood do it for you. Here's this is gonna go. Look at that bark complex in there. That is so cool. That's crazy. It did a whole 180. Trees are absolutely amazing creatures. So versatile. So multifaceted, if that's the right word. So many things you can make out of a tree. Be a genius, talk like a third grader. Okay, we're gonna go. I'm gonna give you guys an up close. Get up close and personal here. Let's go right through here. As you can see, I'm tapping the wedge to stay level. In fact, I want it at a forward pitch because as I come down like this, the wedge will work itself backwards. And look, that's a perfect spot breaking right there. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break that. Well, I was gonna split it on the ground, but I don't like doing that anymore because it dulls the axe and there's less. It's not very hard, so you get less impact with your swings. Again, here I'm using a lever to break this, not my muscles. I don't care if you think less of me. I'm not technically working smarter, but I'm trying to avoid injury. So let's split this into thirds. Boom, like stayed on there. Boom. That's why I like taking the bark off. Boom. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna move spots for you. Just gonna keep going until this is all done. We're about 3/4 of the way there, maybe. Oh my gosh. I thought I was gonna break this in half with my axe. Oh my God, was I wrong. You're pretty good at that. Working on the log road. Long day. It's like, oh brother, where art thou? See how much better I've already got? Practicing on the other side. Let's get this down in there. Finally. She finally split the right way. If you guys can see that. She's finally splitting down towards the middle. So for that, I'm gonna grab my other steel wedge. We're getting buried in firewood, that's good. I'm gonna go right here, right in that heart. Nope, we're gonna use this to our advantage, starting this crack. Let that follow where it wants to go. I think I can see a knot in the way. There it is. I'm gonna stand on this, kick that off. Boom, leverage. See, there's one tied up on us right there. I'm just gonna hit that, break it out. Trust me, the little things that hurt you in the field, the little things that hurt you in the field can haunt you 10 years later, I guarantee it. Do whatever you can to not get hurt. I don't care what people think of you, people make fun of you. It sucks to get hurt, I'm telling you. Insurance, healthcare, medicine, physical therapy, quality of life. Take care of your body. Just one more time. One more time in the middle there. I see a little knot. Boom. Done. Pile. Looking good. Some really good wood. I was asking for a lot. Knees in the way. It was making me nervous. I'm try to chip off that edge. Yep, right into the dirt. It's all right. You gotta sharpen your tools. Everyone's smelling anyways. Now, when a piece of wood is leaning at you like that, the tendency is gonna want to fall like that when you hit it. You're gonna lose a lot of your force. So lean it away from you and focus on that back half or the middle. You get much more force, much more bang for your swing. Now I could go about right here, see if this will split off. That's the problem area right there. Has been this whole time. There it goes. Put this up there. Go back here for the rest of the show here. Oh, yeah. As much crazy stuff you want to do with an axe, be prepared for it to do some crazy damage to you. So be careful. You could even wear chaps or friggin' knee pads for all I care. Just be safe. Quick coffee break here. Damn, I should have put on a long sleeve shirt instead of a sweatshirt. I should have this on something because it's super low to the ground. I don't care. Oh, see, like that. Whew, that was close. Now, it's a couple stitches. It's worth a warm house. But also, my friend Kyle came up with the Himalayan squat method. Instead of swinging like that, when you miss or go through, you come right into your leg. My friend happens to live way out in the middle of nowhere sometimes with no help. If you cut yourself bad enough, you're dead. And so he came up with the Himalayan squat method where you come down with the axe real low so that all your force is going parallel to the ground. As so. I'm gonna try to go in that back third. Hell yeah. Leave in the dirt. People are gonna chew me up for that, but it's all good. If you got a really stubborn piece, you can hit it back third, front third, down this, on the bottom. Now, around the side. The ground's soft, so I'm just gonna keep beating it until she splits. Beating it till she splits. That's right. That is a hard piece. I'm gonna flip this over and use this piece of wood. This is not happening. The ground is really wet and mushy right there. Oh, that's crooked as F. But F's are straight. No, they're not. All right, here we go. Now since that's the majority already cracked, I'm gonna try to break this off here. That's what I thought. Boom. I'll come over here, get 3 out of it. Boom, boom, boom. And also, never put pieces of wood in a wood pile that are connected, because someone could grab one and the other one could come flying at them. And yes, it can hurt you. Land on your toe, give you a splinter, go up your fingernail, like this right here. You throw that on the wood pile and it stays connected, and then you go to move it, that piece is coming with you. All right, that's it. A little bit of help. The splitting wedges and coffee. See you guys next time. Next video, we're gonna go over to that pile, which has some beasts. I don't think that's as dry. I got all sorts of wood, piles of wood over there, some lodgepole here, pile of wood by the house. All right, let's wrap it up. Have my Joffy, the axe. See you guys can see out here. I used to leave my axe outside, now I don't. I don't want it to get stolen or rained on and get rusty. Thanks for hanging out, watching a coffee with Cody in the wood yard. And now we're gonna go edit this video. And I'm working on a major production right now. My first major YouTube video, why people start firewood businesses. But if you want to watch my most viral video about small business and gross revenue sales, check out this video that just popped up and give it a watch and learn, if you are a small business owner or you want to start a small business, why it's so important to have a high revenue goal. Thanks for joining me in the woods, guys. See you next time. Have a good night.